really done this, but if you feel comfortable, shout out in the chat when you've donated, when you have donated, and we'll say your name.
Which is amazing.
And we'll give you a shout out. So every time you donate, you should post in the chat and force other people to get on the bandwagon.
Okay, shout out to
Yamini.
Shout out to Yamini. And shout out to Shah.
Yes, thank
and
you.
Ro. Okay,
Ro,
this is
yes.
crazy.
Yes.
And Grace.
Great.
Woo! Wow,
And Audrey. Okay, wow. Grace and
Hey,
Audrey.
everybody wants a shout out. Everybody wants one.
James.
A shout out can mean a lot, especially when it comes from sort of 3 college comedians.
Amazing. Well, we just wanted to, and please feel free to donate anytime throughout the show. We'll also do a reminder at the end of the show. But to kick us off, we just wanted to say,
I want to be the first people to say this, actually.
The first.
First people to say.
From the bottom of our heart. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everybody!
It is January 3rd, the first day of the new year. In the calendar. And, you know, something that is so important is that before you can move on, you actually need to look back. And I know that sounds insane. It's like, wait, what? I'm trying to go forward.
Yeah.
But how are you going to go forward if you don't really know where you've been, right? So we're going to start the show with kind of looking at what did we want last year? And how did we do?
Sort of this.
Right. And so Anne's gonna start by sharing with us this is a real resolution from the start of last year.
Yeah, so anyone who knows history knows the importance of primary sources. So this is a primary source. This is a page out of my very own journal. And this is from my 2020 resolutions page, and it says, care less about social media and how others perceive me, right? And this is really cute that I said this. This is really cute because, actually, Liva, could you click to the next slide? I tweeted 3,000 times. So that's just sort of like, okay, maybe I didn't get the first part, maybe I got the second part, right? Liva, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, that actually also didn't work out. This photo of me when I thought someone was mad at me. So really holding out for next year, you guys. I think it's going to be good. I'm going to try this again, so we'll see.
Jo, why don't you reflect on your goal?
Why, thank you. Okay, if you know me, you know that I have a hard time with punctuality. And so last year, my resolution was to stop being late. And so what I did is I searched in my phone the words running late. And if you'll go to the next, these are screenshots of all 33 times that I texted someone this year. Sorry that I was running late. And so my resolution for this year is going to be to reckon with my failure. Okay, Liva, do you want to tell us your resolution?
Totally. And I'm not trying to I feel kind of bad because I feel like I should have picked a resolution that I failed. But I did stick to my resolution.
It's okay, Liva. We're proud of you.
Yeah, no, this is huge.
Get in a fight with a former BuzzFeed YouTube star because of tweets about bisexuals that I posted on my alt Twitter account. And
yes, everybody, congratulate
Liva.
Yes, Liva.
At the beginning of 2020, I thought, how the hell am I gonna pull this off? How the hell am I gonna end up writing literally on the verge of tears, DMing a YouTuber that I used to watch to apologize for tweets I said, and I am not going to say which YouTuber, but if you DM me after the show, I will tell you who it is. And can I just say, it's one of the famous ones.
It is.
But anyways, that's, now that we've looked back, I think we can start to look forward at our guests, actually. And I'm
Okay,
actually pulling
amazing transition.
and I'm actually pulling up the lineup on my phone because I didn't memorize it.
It's okay.
looks like-
I can even tell you who the next performer is, actually.
Amazing.
So our first performer is an amazing writer, actor, comedian, and musician even. They make music from New York City. Everyone give it up for Ryan. Woo! Also,
Yeah.
please feel free to unmute and turn your camera on if you want, but you don't.
Yeah,
have
Ryan.
Ryan.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, guys? How are we? Everyone, how are we all? Yeah, this is cool. Thank you so much for having me, Liva and Joe. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I've done. This is like the second Zoom show I've done during the pandemic, and so I actually went and I Googled the old shows that you guys did, and they were on YouTube. And I was just like watching some of them and I was like, oh, cool. It just seems like a lot of the people that performed had like props and stuff and whatever. And like, I don't know, I don't do that. And like, I wanted to do something with it because I thought it was cool. So I've never done it. I'm doing this first time. I have this air horn right here. I don't know, you probably can't see it, but it makes a noise. And so I might, no, it's not even working. And I have this, and I have this. So I'm pretty excited to do this. I want to use props. I want to incorporate. Oh, I got it. Yeah, I just want to incorporate stuff because this is fun. I'm excited. I think this is cool. Okay, cool. I guess I'll get started. Hey guys, what's going on? How are y'all doing today? My name is Ryan Shah. Thank you again so much for having me. A little bit about me, because I'm assuming most of you don't know me. I used to be a baby model. You know, my parents are like bad people. I grew up in LA. That's like why I sound like this. Like, I'm sorry. And my parents used to enter me into these like baby modeling contests. So I'd like go into these rooms when I was like 3 years old and literally like sit in this like little stool. And these old men would judge me to see if I was like sexy enough, you know? And this is true. Like, if you look this up on your phones, this is real. I was actually Gap Baby Model of the Year in 1998, so that's like a real thing. And that's really cool actually, because if you win like the Gap Baby Model competition, you get $1,000 Baby Gap gift card, and they also offer to let you star in like a Baby Gap commercial. But my mom was like, "Oh no, like we don't want to let him star in the commercial. We don't want to let him into child acting." So she like didn't let me do it. And I just realized now I've just been like chasing that high ever since, you know. I'm just going on the Zoom comedy shows and I'm trying to fucking get something. I'm trying to get something out of this. I'm trying to feel something again. But no, I'm happy. This is really cool. I'm living the dream, you know. This is great. Hi. I can kind of see people. I just realized I can open up gallery view and see everybody. Hi, what's going on, everyone? How are we all doing? This is my crowd work. I'm just saying hi to everyone. This has been a cool. It was a cool 2020. Now it's 2021. It was a cool 2020 though. I think a lot. I don't know. A lot of stuff happened. I feel like there was a lot of like I don't know. What I noticed of last year especially was there was a lot of talks about racial equity among like different groups and everything. And I think it's like a really important conversation to be brought to the forefront. But what I've noticed about that is I feel like people have been looking towards like white people have been looking towards like people of color as thought leaders, you know, for the racial crisis going on in this country, which I think is like I think it's like good, and I think it's like sort of a good idea. I just don't know how to do that because like I'm personally dumb as shit, you know. Like I don't know, like I used to do whippets like all the time. Like I would literally just take the fucking canister and like it was awesome. It was great. I really enjoyed it. And what I've noticed is like if a person asks me, they're like, "Hey Ryan, like what do you think about the racial crisis going on in this country today?" I'm like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I genuinely could not tell you. Like I genuinely could not give you like a very thought-provoking, nuanced answer. I could teach you how to do a whippet, you know, like I could teach you how to do that, but like I couldn't how to talk about the racial crisis. I don't know. It's like a hard thing. It's like really difficult. I don't know. I think a lot of stuff is like weird right now. I think I don't know. I also recently started dating again, which is cool. Me and my girlfriend recently broke up due to the COVID-19 pandemic. When I say that, people get weird. She didn't die. We were just weak-willed. Like she's not. So I recently started dating again, and I've been on the apps and I've been swiping. And what I've noticed is a lot of people have been putting like I don't know, like ACAB and stuff in their Tinder bio, or like, you know, like fight the power and abolish, and like, you know, I've noticed a lot of stuff, and I think it's cool, but I just find it kind of interesting that the place you would want to put your solidarity messages to be on like a dating app, you know, like I understand like if you put it on like Twitter, you know, or Instagram, but Tinder is an app that's literally designed for like meeting and like hooking up with people. So like essentially when you put like these types of messages on your dating apps, all you're essentially doing is being like, oh, like look at me, like I'm such a good person, fuck me, like, you know, it's just weird. I don't understand it. And then, you know, someone pointed out to me, they were like, okay, Ryan, like that's like a little harsh and a little judgmental. Like you might just want to be putting that stuff in your dating app so, you know, you can meet somebody that shares the same ideals, values, and beliefs as you. And I was like, yeah, like that's fair. Like that's a fair argument to be had about it. But I'm based in Brooklyn. So if you're really having that much trouble like finding people that share like ACAB style beliefs, then I feel like there's something wrong with your dating profile. I'm gonna be honest. It's not. I think it's something to have to do with you. I don't think it's anything else. Yeah, I don't know. I want to use my sound thing, please. Sorry. Man, this doesn't work. Okay. All right. Yeah, no. This has been a cool year. This has been a really cool year. I don't know. I'm trying to break out of like preconceived, like I'm trying to make 21 my year. I'm trying to break out of preconceived notions people have of me. One of the things people have called me a lot in the past is that people call me a soft boy a lot, which like I don't agree with, you know. For those of you that don't know what a soft boy is, you know, I consider it to be a derogatory term for a man that is sensitive, you know, a man that is toxically masculine, you know. However, you know, I do think like the idea of toxic masculinity is like kind of cool, you know. It's like, ooh, like toxically masculine, like oh, like that sounds kind of sick, you know. Toxic masculine. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not that dude. Like I don't know. I'm the type of dude like if I see a kite in a park, like I'll chase it, you know. If I see a baby in a stroller, I'm like, oh my god, a baby. I was a baby cat model. Like I do that to babies. I don't know. I'm not that dude. I don't do that. I don't know. I'm trying to not be a soft boy. I'm trying to move on from that. I'll do one more and then I'll move on with the lineup. I think this is really cool. Thank you guys so much again for having me. This is exciting. I'm really excited. So I don't know. This year has been really weird. This year it's been really hard. I graduated in June of 2020 and I haven't been able to find a job at all. I don't know if anyone's in the same predicament. It's just been a tough economy at the moment. So recently I applied to work at Starbucks and yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I think Starbucks is like a great company. You know, they do a lot for people, but they asked me in my interview if I ever had a barista experience. And to be honest, like I didn't. So what I told them was, yes, of course, I have had a year's worth of experience being a barista at Blue Bottle Coffee in New York City. And I told them this whole story about how when I was a barista there was a woman that would come in every single day. And she was from the East Village and she would come in and she would say, I don't like that this coffee shop is here at all. You guys shouldn't have moved into the neighborhood. And then after that, she would order a coffee. And every single day she would come in and she would and her heart would grow a little less cold and she would be a little bit more warm and friendly to the staff that we had there. And on our last day that we were on the last day that I was there, she came into me and she came right up to me and I had her order ready for her and I gave it to her. And she said, you know what? I don't think that this coffee shop is that bad after all.
Wow.
And the people I told this to in an interview were like, wow, like you're hired on the spot. They're like, you're hired, like you're an amazing person. And you know, everything that you're doing is like so valuable to the coffee community. And I was like, thank you so much. And I made that all up. I made everything up. And I start tomorrow and I hope I do well. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Thank you so much.
Everyone give it up for Ryan. Thank you so much for what you do for the
Thank you so much, Ryan. Please update us in a week. I really hope you actually make it through your new job. Okay, our next comedian is also from Brooklyn, and in my opinion, is really awesome. Let's give it up for Emma.
Hi everyone. My name is Emma Callahan, and I've stolen almost every single iPhone charging cable I've ever owned because I don't think that you should have to buy them. Happy New Year, everyone. I just want to say happy 2021, especially a happy 2021 to all the present and future gentrifiers out there tonight. It's just so nice. Just like to see us all like representing, right? Like so nice to see us representing. I also am using sound like Ryan. I don't know. 2020, guys. 2020 was kind of a crazy year. And I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be dramatic, but like I know 2020 was a crazy year because 2020 was the year that the most men I know messaged me being like, hey, no, we haven't talked in a while, and I hope all is well. This might be a little silly to ask, but did I rape you? LMK. Oh my God. I'm like confused and turned on. And so I'm like, can you just like describe what you think that is for me? And then they don't respond, but that's fine. That's fine, right? That they didn't respond because they're playing hard to get. And I'm used to that. And I'm so used to that. Yeah. In reality, it's fucked up though, right? I mean, like, I don't know, like people in 2020. Well, I mean, cis men really that, I don't know, even in 2020, cis men are so bad at raping that I have to field like 3 different requests to like confirm or deny. Like, what am I, the Associated Press? Like, what am I, the damn New York Times? Oh my God. I mean, it just shakes my confidence in men, to be honest. Like, I thought this was the one thing that you were supposed to be good at. Like, please, like, get better at your job. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, my ideal way of dealing with this situation would have been to go on an episode of Maury. And, you know, there are 3 guys, and there are 3 envelopes. And, you know, like Maury takes the first envelope and he opens it and he's like, are you the rapist? And then he's like, yes. And the guy runs out and everyone's like, ah. And then he gets the second envelope and he opens it and he's like, are you the rapist? And yes, and the guy starts crying and he like trips over the stage and the cameraman chases him out and everyone's like, fuck you. And then the 3rd guy is also a rapist. Yeah. I'm a senior in college right now. And you know, college in the pandemic, it's not fun. But it's fine because college students are the worst. Like, you know, get off your big giant tall horse, you big giant tall baby. I went to like a white high school on the Upper West Side. And so I don't know, like just a lot of the kids I know, like in my experience, like they just go to these like liberal, private, like elite, like small, like, white. They go to these like white colleges, right? And I could have picked so much time. They go to these white colleges and these spaces and these places are just, they're just places, you know, for kids to clock in the woke hours. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they slip into their Blundstones, like they wander around the field. Like they volunteer at an organization that helps families that they themselves have displaced, and then they go back to their racist families, like a racist cow returning to the racist pasture. But the cow's now a Marxist, which is so cool. One of my favorite jokes I wrote while touring colleges in high school was like, imagine that like an all women's elite liberal arts college on the East Coast, and you're just like, hey, can I just ask the tour guide a question about like diversity on campus? And she just turns around with like a million scars and he's like, no. And that's I think it's interesting, like Ryan was saying before, it's just interesting to watch a lot of like white people I know, I feel like for the first time kind of have this big realization that like their whiteness is a position of power in relation to other people. Because I'm white, but I'm also not white. And so I think that like not white people have this realization at a very young age. Like, what do I mean? I think of a memory, like one of my first memories when I was living at my grandma's house, that my great grandma, who I called Danai, would watch me after school. And sometimes I'd be sitting on the couch and my head would be on her lap. And she would always do this thing when my head was on her lap that was just like this. And she would just keep doing it like again and again and again and again. And I never really like thought to ask what she was doing until one day. And I was like, Nana, what is that? Like, why do you do that? And she doesn't really speak English and I don't really speak Tagalog. And so it was kind of like, she's like, oh, I want, you need to have like a nose arc. And I was like, I don't know what that, like a nose arc, I don't know what that. She's like, oh, you need to have, like, I want you to have like a nose bridge. And I was like, I don't really, like a nose bridge, I don't really know what that is. And then she's like, oh, you need to have a nose like a white person, because having a nose like a white person's better. And that was really weird for me to hear as like a little kid, because I mean, it was just this person who I thought was like the most beautiful, perfect woman in the entire world. And I just realized like as a 6-year-old that I was like, oh, I don't really know if she likes her nose. And I don't really know if she thinks her nose is pretty, because like she's been taught that white people's noses are better, you know? And that was really weird. And so I don't know, I like 6-year-old me, like turns up to look at her, like this woman who's like my second mom or my second grandma. And I'm just like, oh my God, Nana, like you could be canceled for that. Like, do you oh God, are you stupid? Are you stupid, dumb, disgusting woman? And I do you even think, like when the words come out of your mouth, like do you even think about that? And like, I wish I could unlearn it. I wish I could unlearn it, but I can't, because now you said it already. So now I'm like, don't know what to do. And you put me in a really awkward position. And like, I don't know, I'm just saying that if I was anyone else, like canceled immediately. And she was like, oh my God. Oh, Emma, dude, whoa, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about it that way. And I was like, oh my God, it's so fine. What are you talking about? And she's like, oh my God, thank you. And I'm like, no, thank you. But thank me. Yes, thank me. And I was like, she's like, oh my God, come here, my white grandchild. Like, come in for a hug, you white. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Guys, I'm Emma Callahan. Thanks for having me. Around for more fun stuff.
Everyone follow Emma.
Already
That's
did.
actually so relatable to me, because I think we should cancel Warby Parker because none of their glasses fit an Asian nose, right? They don't have nose pads. They sit right on your face. They should be taken to task for that.
Okay, that's what I thought about face masks, like the blue ones, before I realized that they have a nose that you can squeeze to make it fit your specific nose.
Face masks are amazing allies.
So That's
Oh,
a bit racial justice.
Thank
for
you
it.
so much for that. It was amazing.
Yes.
Our next guest is actually someone I met in Maine. He is incredibly funny, and he is also very sexy and very well dressed, I would say. So let's and funny. So let's give it up for Kristofer.
Yes.
Thank you, Liva. Do I have to do anything here? Like pin? Okay. Oh,
We got
Sorry,
you.
gotcha.
woo, okay. Thank you, Liva. Hi, guys. Hello. My name is Kristofer, and I am a trans guy. And you know, I'm also a comedian. That was harder to accept, I think. Yeah, I came out about a year ago, and I still have to deal with like a lot of awkward questions, you know, from random people. I was talking to this like Lily Pulitzer macchiato mom, you know, the other day, and she was like, "Ooh, like a year ago, you know, you didn't realize when you were a kid, you know, you didn't feel kind of weird when you were a kid." And it got me thinking. It really got me thinking because I honestly didn't realize that I was trans when I was a kid. I didn't even know like what the fucking word meant, honestly. But I definitely felt weird. I was like a dykey little trombone player, and I wore maternity pants and Crocs to school every day. And I was the captain of my school's competitive spelling team. I also was a self-described fish tank enthusiast, and I had freshwater catfish in my father's basement. He was thrilled. I was benched in 6th grade field hockey because I trapped a frog in my coach's backpack, which actually wasn't the best move because as a child, when I did something good, I was, like all American children, rewarded with McDonald's. And I got to go and get a Happy Meal. We all know a Happy Meal. You have the nuggets, you have the milk, you have the fries, the little ketchup packets, the little apple slices because it's healthy, some napkins, and I got one of those. And I think we can all agree the happiest part of a Happy Meal is the little toy, is the little like collectible tchotchke it comes with. And this was like a huge thing for me growing up, fucking Happy Meal toys, because my mother has literally 500 from her childhood in the 70s. So I, as a child, would sit at McDonald's, I would eat my Happy Meal, and I would look at this cutesy little collectible toy, this little collector's edition thing, and I would look at like the disgusting, greasy, used napkin. And I would think to myself, you know which one of these two items I should start a collection of? The used napkin. So as a child, I collected McDonald's napkins, and of all places to be collecting fucking napkins from, I picked not McDonald's around the world, not a McDonald's from every state. I collected fucking napkins from like 6 or 7 different locations in northern New Hampshire. So, you know, yeah, as a kid, I did feel weird, you know, but it wasn't so much in like an I want a penis way. It was more like collecting trash from fast food restaurants. You know? So I think for me, realizing I was trans wasn't like, you know, it wasn't about what felt weird. You know, it was about what felt weirdly good, I would say. Little wordplay there. I did musical theater as a kid, obviously, and did Beauty and the Beast, right? And all of the girls wanted to be Belle, like vicious middle school girl fighting over who was Belle. And I remember kind of sitting there and I was like, what's the Beast's deal? You know, he seems kind of intriguing. You know, I kind of want to be him. Why doesn't one of you be Belle? And I'll be the Beast. And I think that we have to kiss actually on stage. But I'm very mature. I can handle it. I auditioned for the Beast, obviously, and I got the role. I think because I was a foot taller than all of the boys. And I continued playing the male lead in every single musical I was in long after the boys surpassed me in height. Long fucking after. Memories. Yeah, freshman year of college, I remember distinctly ordering a pizza, and the delivery guy came to drop it off, and he called me and he was like, "Food's here, sir." And I did not correct him. I was like, "Oh, thank you." And he saw my birth name on the order, right? It was a woman's name. And he was like, this might not be for you. And I was like, oh, no. That's my wife's name. That's my wife's name. She's in the shower. She's pregnant, actually. We were making love, and my sperm, that was my doing, went to the egg. You know how that goes. It's a man thing. Yeah. So I was really just generally happy with being read as male on the phone, on the street. And later that year, I learned that applied to different contexts as well, intimate contexts. I was hooking up with this girl, not that like I really had sex ever, but I did one time. And he was like, you have a strap on. And I was like, yeah. And I did. I was too afraid to use it like ever. So I was like playing it cool. You know, I'm like trying to get the fucking thing on, which if you've ever had experience. I was like, you know, and I finally struggled through it. And I remember distinctly looking down and just bursting into sobs, like hysterical, like gut wrenching, like going through something sobs. Right. And the next day I told all my girlfriends about this. I was like, yeah, you know, whatever, was sobbing, you know, and I guess Freud was right. You know, women really do want penises. And they were just, you know, it was blank stares, just blank, a series of blank stares. And, you know, looking back, I'm like, dude, you know, it's a dildo, right? It's not supposed to be like bringing you to tears. So it's been a journey, blah, blah, he, him.
Yeah.
I don't have any more jokes. Thank you.
Yeah, Kristofer.
Thank you. Can I like mute myself now? Is that like? Oh, Liv.
Yes.
Hi.
Thank you so much for that. That was really sweet, honestly. I love your jokes, and guess what? I loved your earnesty. So
Thanks, pal. Thanks for calling me sexy at the beginning too, buddy. That was really sweet.
dude, of course.
Liv and I are just a couple of dudes being bros.
Dude.
I think we're just dudes being bros, being.
Dude,
Yeah.
I loved how passionate you were in that story.
Oh, I was like, dildo. Yeah, sorry.
But I'm sorry, I'm just pulling up our next segment, which is a little presentation that we have. If we can kind of go back, pick up where we left off. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think is
All
Anne
right.
here?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
We haven't done a show in a while.
I'm learning to speak again. Okay. So, you know, we want to take some more time to reflect even and think about what we want to keep going into 2021 and what we want to leave in the past. So for your consideration, and please feel free to weigh in the chat how you feel about these, what we want to keep and what we want to leave.
Exactly. So kind of we have the two categories. We're just going to kind of go through what we think. It's incredibly simple. You got it. Keep. Juice. Leave.
Water. Water is boring juice. Water is juice that was not dressed for the day.
Water is juice that wasn't prepared. Right?
Yeah.
Water straight, water cis, right?
Water
No
is
personality.
Water is juice that your parents give you when they don't like you that much.
Yeah. Water is sort of choosing to play close to self. Juice is making a choice, right? Making a decision.
Juice is making- exactly.
Right. So keep plays about dinner.
We love plays about dinner.
Obviously.
Big time.
Leave plays
Plays
about
about
storms.
Here, you cannot recreate a storm in your sort of thrust stage, in your proscenium stage, in your stage in the round. Okay? Think about that.
I don't care how much flashing lights, how much, wow, big thunder coming through a speaker. We don't need it. We can
don't need
save
it.
that for the outdoors
Yeah.
instead of the indoor stage.
My opinion on this is even if you could make a realistic play about a storm, that would just be too scary.
Yeah. Definitely.
That'd be too scary.
Okay, so this, I think that we should keep movies where the couple only kisses at the end because that's the build up, right? But we should absolutely leave movies where the couple kisses in the first 15 minutes. Once the couple kisses, I zone out, I go on my phone. I don't care anymore.
Once the couple kisses have come, and so there's nowhere to go after that.
There's no story. It's all just wasting time until they get back together. Boo! And so something we want to keep is princesses and kings. Don't give them any power, obviously, but keep them around. They're good to look at, and they're good for joy and pleasure.
They're really sweet.
And
They're really
leave
sweet.
King Princess.
We do not
Done.
need her.
Done.
Bye.
Enough, Michaela.
I hate it when dudes try to. Yeah.
Oh wait, and what was that, Anne?
I hate it when dudes try to chase me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need one thing we need to keep is Anne's music career.
Yes.
Keith and Lim.
Stream Anne.
And this is our last
This
one.
of course. A little style one. Keep big pants, little shirt.
We love big pants, little shirt.
So cheap. Leave. War.
Obviously.
Yeah, stuff. Not cheap.
Clearly.
And so
Woo-hoo.
so there's also was a bunch that we weren't sure about.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to be,
It's like,
black and white about everything.
yeah.
So here's some we weren't kind of sure about, and feel free to drop in the chat other things you're unsure about and other things that and you see what you feel about these choices.
Yeah, we'll check in after each of these to see what people think. Brothers.
Statistics.
Brothers, I say keep, and other people are saying keep.
A lot of people are saying keep.
Keep brothers, leave stats.
A lot of people are saying
Hours
leave
of 3 to
stats.
5.
Yeah. What do you do then?
What do you guys think?
What gets done then? People say nap. You can nap in 3 to 5.
True.
This is when you start talking at the same time as someone else. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's I think we've seen with Zoom it can get tiring.
Yeah, everyone says leave for that one. This is
Yeah.
mine. Hugging at the end of a first date. I don't know if we should keep it. To be honest, everyone's saying leave.
Decisively leave.
Ian says kissing only, and this is what we were thinking. I think you should either
I
kiss.
think if the date wasn't good enough to warrant a kiss, you should just leave.
And this next one is John Legend. Let's just based on this, think about this past year.
Okay,
What's he done?
Kristofer is still reflecting on statistics.
Someone said leave the date by throwing a peace sign, which I think is good.
Yeah, that's big.
Sabina is pro John.
We have a lot of pro John in the chat.
Yeah, lots of pro John.
Lots of pro John.
This one
Gabe-
is
Gabe says
This is-
leave. Gabe says leave, but I like that he has nice boobs.
And that's an interesting take.
Yeah.
this next one is having some dinners when you're 20s. For me, this is like it's okay when I do it, but when I see other people, it's hard. For it's one of those situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my question for people who have stuffed animals. Doesn't it just fall off your bed when you sleep? So what do you just every day you wake up, you put your stuffed animals back on your bed? Is that what you do every day? That's That's so much
That's
time that
the-
you're wasting. To be honest.
And this last one is bomber jackets.
Reminiscent of the military. Do you like that? People are
Yeah.
saying leave.
Yeah. So
That's
that's
chilly.
just something we put together, and we're gonna be sending it to the U.S. government so they can do their bidding.
Joe
By the way-
Biden is not. We have to hold Joe Biden accountable on this, you guys. We have
We
to.
have to make sure.
Have to. You guys, we said that we would.
Yeah.
If Joe Biden doesn't have King Princess stripped of her music, her music job, her role in the music industry, we have to hold him accountable.
We're gonna tear down the White House brick by brick. Thank you, everyone.
Exactly.
Alrighty.
Get to our next performer.
Yeah,
We're
our
going
next
back to
performer is when I asked our next performer where to say she was from, she said Canada. Everyone give it up for the incredible, hilarious Liv.
Hi. What's up? I'm Liv. Okay. I'm gonna sing a song for you tonight. The thing is, I'm usually a really good singer, but something weird happened when I was born, and then ever since then, I've just been so if you could be nice about it, that would be good. Also, you can tell me if the volume is bad. I don't know if I'll be able to fix it. Okay, I'm getting off my chair. I'm standing up. This is a song about why I can never move to New York. Oh wait, I don't know how to do this. Okay. I worry all the time about running into that guy who runs that stupid blog, Humans of New York. I'll have nothing to say, nothing cool or smart to say at all. Everyone he interviews, okay, a little vocal thing, is inspiring or brave. They run a marathon on one leg, which is harder than running it on two, which is something I still wouldn't do. Had a relatively easy life. I am bisexual, but literally, who cares? What can I say to impress the guy from Humans of New York? Everyone he photographs has survived something whack, like the Hindenburg blimp crash, or somehow both their parents are Anne Frank. Literally, how is that possible? I've had a relatively boring life. Nothing cool has happened to me. All I've ever done is get kicked out of an Indian buffet restaurant. I was there with my college improv team. We were being too annoying, so we got banned from the restaurant. It sucks, I really like their food. I do not want everyone to know. I do not want everyone to know that I was in an improv group in college. I don't want to on Humans of New York's Facebook page, so I guess I can never go to the Big Apple. I'm never going to New York.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Everyone go follow Liv on Twitter right now. Being vulnerable is hard. Speaking your truth is hard, but she did it.
Wow, that was incredible.
Unbelievable stuff.
Wow. Chills. I don't know what to say. I feel like I was at a concert.
Yeah.
I had that concert high. You know, when you leave a concert and you're just so high.
Live
Your ears are
Literally
pounding.
at that concert high where I feel like everyone here is my best friend.
Yes.
It's so close to everyone.
I feel so bonded.
We bonded.
All right.
I think Joe.
Oh, our next performer. I'm so sorry. Okay, and our next performer in direct competition with Liv's song is from Brooklyn, is absolutely hilarious. And let me tell you this, has been wearing some really cool jewelry lately. Give it up for Tarek.
Whoa. Wow, thank you for the compliment. Hello. My name is Tarek, as they said. I hope you all are feeling great. I'm feeling fantastic, partially because it's the new year, partially because I timed the edible I ate today perfectly. So I am just,
Yeah.
like half my body is jello, half my body is vibrating at the same frequency as Kesha's hit single TikTok. So that's great. But no, I'm really excited for 2021 and all of the great things it's going to bring. I think it's going to be a really great year for me. I feel this way because I'm actually a white woman from an upper middle class family, and I have no genetic disorders of any kind. So it's great. Those are actually the three things I say whenever I'm playing two truths and a lie with a new group of people. It's a really good way to turn your icebreaker into an ice destroyer. Everyone's just always looking around like, is it the disorder? Fun fact though, I actually do have a genetic disorder. Actually, I have a lot of health issues. I don't know if it's because of my poor lifestyle choices or because of the fact that my parents are direct cousins. It's really anybody's guess. But yeah, so my genetic disorder, it's a connective tissue disorder, which basically means my internal sticky parts don't work properly. For example, I once dislocated my arm in a game of Limbo simply because I went back too far. I won the Limbo tournament, but at what cost, you know? But I've been really looking forward to 2021. So I've been looking into like my horoscopes to see what's good. But honestly, I just ended up reflecting on how like, I feel like they could say anything and we would eat it up. Like a lot of the horoscope Twitter accounts that I see, they don't even say nice things. It's like Aquarius, eat shit. Pisces, bastard. Like what's the other one? Oh yeah, Cancer. Have you considered Botox? Like, and we eat it up. Eat it up. No one should be offended by the signs that I chose for that example, by the way. I only chose them because those are actually my placements. I won't tell you which is my sun, which is my moon, and which is my rising, but just know that regardless, I am fucked up. So that's what it is. There's too much water in there. It's just everything's wet. But yeah, so horoscopes have also become a really big part of dating. I recently got out of a relationship, so I've been pondering the notion of talking to another person. But going on first dates is always very hard because people like to try to, guess what I am. And that's a great game because if they get it wrong, they're racist. But if they get it right, they're also racist. And so it's like a win-win, you know? Besides that. But no, so I love to be asked, oh, but like, where are you really from? Like, where are you really from? I love that. You know how I hear that? Like you're asking me from which fallopian tube I came from. Like whenever I hear that, for some reason I picture like 17th century, and it's this guy who's just like, "Oh, good morrow, sir. From which ovary do you hail? Right or left?" That's how you sound to me. Honestly, that's probably going to become the new thing, you know, like fuck horoscopes. How far into your mother's ovulation were you when you were conceived? Oh, you came from your mom's left ovary on a Tuesday? I don't know. I don't think I've seen room for you in my birth chart. Maybe room for you in like my life, you know. But dating is always funny. I'm bi, and people are always like Liv. Did you guys hear that earlier? Shout out. But this is actually ironic because the thing I'm about to say next is that people are always talking about this thing like bisexual erasure as if it's like a bad thing. But I personally would love to be erased. Chalkboard, swipe away. I don't need to be here. I improve no one's life through that means of my existence. So just swipe it off. But I was with a white person, and this is the last thing I'll say. And that is always fascinating because I can never really see what that would be like in the long term because I don't really know what it would be like or want to know what it would be like to have a white baby. And I don't even know what to do with those things. You know, like, how do you talk to it? Do they like the same things as adult white people? Like, am I supposed to be like, oh, goo goo gaga, baby wants some granola? Goo goo, baby want to go to Martha's Vineyard? Baby want to go to Whole Foods? Oh, what's that behind baby's ear? It's intergenerational wealth. Oh, do they like that? Oh, thank you.
Woo! Everyone follow Tarek on Twitter. Please, I'm begging you.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, Tarek. That was hilarious. Everyone follow and support Tarek. Our last guest is, and I can't believe we're at the end of the night, honestly.
Flown by.
Woo! Our last guest is from Texas. She's a college senior. She is very hot and very funny and very intelligent. Our last, can everyone please give a warm welcome to Audrey?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So I am from Texas. Growing up in Texas is kind of weird. It's a conservative place with like a lot of warring ideologies. Texas homophobes are really intense. My friend came out to her mom, which she should not have had to do because she was like the kind of lesbian that you look at and you can tell that one day she will build a canoe by hand for a lover. But she came out to her mom, and the argument got to a point that I truly believe any conversation can get to, which is that she shouted, "I just love pussy," at her mother. And her mother heard that and took that in and then projectile vomited onto her daughter. I judge her that harshly, though, because I consider myself a Texas homophobe as well because of how much I hate myself. I went through a lot of phases growing up in Texas, and one was very much a goth phase. When you're in the suburbs of Dallas, people, when they think you're different, they just kind of group you all together. And so people kept trying to buy drugs from me. I was not a drug dealer. I was just a goth 16-year-old. But I think people saw the black lipstick and just assumed I was committing crimes. And like, yeah, I stole the black lipstick, but I'm not going to sell you Molly. I'm a little unlucky in love. My first girlfriend, whenever she would cheat on me, She would always say, she was like, I'm sorry, Mercury was in retrograde. And I don't know a lot about astrology, but y'all tell me, was Mercury in retrograde for all of 2016 and 2017? If it was, I would love to know what about the planets made her fuck my cousin. My type is like beautiful women who are mean to me in a way where I'm like, is this just for me? My pattern with men has been like men that I feel like I could take in a fight. Like I see a guy with like a disproportionate body and like one earring and a bad face and a bad attitude. And I'm like, this is the heterosexual twin for me. And my childhood crushes were Neil Patrick Harris, Ryan from High School Musical, and Kurt from Glee. So I think like the signs of me and heterosexuality are gonna work out were there. I have had a boyfriend. I wanted to just try it out. I thought he was the funniest person I'd ever met until I realized he was never kidding. I thought he was a cellist because he had a cello and he told me he was a musician. But I actually found out a little into dating that the reason he considered himself a musician, an artist, you know, his passion, his drive was actually his SoundCloud rapping career. He was a very curious person. He asked me lots of questions. For instance, one time he was like, hey, I know Coney 2012 had to do with Coney Island, but can you tell me a little bit more? And what's really key about that is that he's from New York City. So either he doesn't know that Coney Island is in New York, or he thinks that there were child soldiers in the state of New York in 2012. He had 3 nipples. Very cool. He bragged about them often. And he turned to me one day, mid-bragging about his 3 nipples, and said, you know what's crazy? Is I get even more nipples when I'm cold. So, I was hanging out with him once, and I remember that after this happened, I was like, this is my fault for not watching him, which is not a thought that you want to have about a significant other. But I was looking away, and when I turned back around, he had found a little plastic ball, and he had put it in his mouth, and he had started choking. So I had to Heimlich him, and then I had to explain, you know, you can't find things on the ground and then put them into your mouth. That's super dangerous. So what I learned is that I'm not great at dating men, but I will be a terrible mother. I treated him a lot like a pet. Like I took walks with him. I made sure he got fed. I did not have sex with him. No, we dated. Like it was a relationship. So all I'll say about it is sex with men, particularly SoundCloud rappers, is a lot like going for a run. You hate it while it's happening. You're glad when it's over, but at least it's, you know, good exercise. I have an antagonistic relationship with men. I don't have a lot of straight male friends, and I'd like to say it's because I don't like them, but actually it's because they don't like me. I think they can tell I used to be goth, and it makes them skittish. But occasionally men take interest in me. I lived in England for a year, and there was a British boy that I kind of knew that was very interested in me, which he indicated by messaging me at 4 a.m. every Thursday for 3 months. I like that he's punctual and persistent. But he messaged me one day and asked me about my favorite conspiracy theories. And like, I understand that if a man I don't know messages me in the wee hours of the morning about conspiracy theories, he doesn't actually want to hear what I think about reptilians, but like, I kind of want to talk about reptilians. So I responded, and he transitioned seamlessly into asking if he could be my hoe. So, you know, I said that there were no availabilities for that position at the time. And then he apologized and said, you know, sorry for wasting my time. How could he make it up to me? And I, you know, hoping to diffuse the tension, joked that he could endorse me for public speaking on LinkedIn. To which he responded, I would love to endorse you as a shag. I ran into him a couple weeks after he finally stopped messaging me, and he got my name wrong. So he can remember to message me at 4 a.m. every Thursday, I can't remember if my name has a D or a B in it. The duality of man. That's my set, everyone. Thank you.
Audrey on Twitter.
Audrey,
Yeah. Wow.
thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you to all our performers so much. And to
Yes.
close out, we just have give a round of applause. One more round of applause
Yes,
to our
give a round of
performer.
applause.
We have them tagged. If you go to one of our any of our Twitters, so or Instagram. So yeah, just check them out, and they're also all in the chat. So make sure to support all these performers. Our last segment of the night is about the future, right?
Yeah.
Looking to, is it coming? Can people see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
that was okay. We just forgot to ask, how about you? Okay. Right. So this is our last segment, and Joe, do you want to talk about this?
Yes. So this segment, we've reflected about the past, we've reflected on the present, and looking into the future, we thought that we should take a step back from ourselves. And so we've come up with some resolutions for other people, other beings in our lives who we really have messages for. Let's get started.
To
Mitch McConnell.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Anne.
Go ahead, Joe.
Go ahead, Anne.
To Mitch McConnell. Make this your year of adventure. Lose your inhibitions. Jump for joy, off a cliff even. Explore the concept of dying. We all think it's time.
To spiders and house centipedes. Lose a leg or two. Seriously.
Try a bold lip and curtain bend.
Mix up the style, Pope. To J. Crew, keep fighting. It's not over yet. You're still open even though you're bankrupt. Look at the positive. We need you big time, girl.
The crab rangoon, multiply and get big.
The football, become dance.
Pants, please fit me.
Two little penguins, come over. To the cookies, get baked.
The noodles, stay long.
Don't hurt.
And to Emily Osmond, book a role. This year, try to book a role. We would love to see you in movie, television, or play. Put yourself out there.
Come on, Emily.
We've
Come
missed
on,
you.
Emily.
Young and Hungry was so long ago.
Drop a please book Emily in the chat if you want Emily to book this year.
If there are any people who are booking,
Yeah, if we have any bookers in the audience, please consider booking.
You can book Emily before anyone who's ever been on this show. We care about her more.
And those are our resolutions. And just before we end the show,
we just have one more message for you guys.
Yeah. But seriously, you guys, happy 2021. May your year be full of joy, love, warmth, and self-discovery. Not every day will be perfect. Popcorn Joe.
But what matters is that we keep living over and
Cheers to laughing when we fail and crying when we succeed. Cheers to bitter coffees and sweet evenings, and cheers to us.
Love you guys.
Not you suck. We hope you have the worst year of your life.
Okay, but actually,
seriously, guys.
But actually, thank you for coming.
Actually, thank you so much for coming. I'm dropping all the donation information and all of our amazing performers ads in the chat. So please take some time to donate and follow them. They were perfect. And
we'll still give shout outs if you want to donate now.
oh yeah, that's true. We'll take a moment to give shout outs, and we're gonna just sort of play some music for a bit and dance around a little bit if anyone wants to stick around.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And please drop song requests in the chat.
Dead, you
Yeah.
killed me. I'm dead now.